Incoming audio transmission. Something's happening, Tenno.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the WARFRAME Digest, episode 23. We've nearly hit that 24 mark, and this is the 31st episode of the Devstream. Words. Can I even? No, I can never. But let's move on. First bit of news is Syndicate changes. Syndicates have been a very interesting thing to the game, but a very frustrating thing for many players. Many players have been expressing their opinion about how they feel like they've gotten the short deal of this stick, and pretty much it's going nowhere. They are expressing their discontent over how it feels that it was targeted to new players who can gradually get it and gradually enjoy it in the end, while veterans have to struggle, grind, and pretty much tear their hair out. I know I was. That's one of the main reasons I made an alt account to do a Let's Play on. So, how did they address this situation? Well, they pretty much multiplied the experience gain by 10. That is a lot of Syndicate points. I've already went up 2 tiers in just a day and a half, and that's absurd. But that seems a little exploitative, doesn't it? Yeah, it kind of does, until you put a hard cap of 2,000 points. But not necessarily a hard cap, more like a soft cap, because the hard cap is based on your mastery. So according to your mastery, it becomes a multiplier, so 2,000 times my mastery of 17, I get 36,000? 34,000? One of the two. I can't do math. I'm just meh. Moving on. These Syndicate changes have been welcomed with open arms, as well as the regression to the nerfs that have happened to a couple of Warframes that were just completely unnecessary. So let's never speak of that again. The great nerfing of 2014. But, moving on from that, they also decided to show us some new concept art. Concept art of a upcoming Warframe. And in all honesty, this is pretty interesting. This new Warframe, no idea what her name is right now, she is to be a gunslinger. Yes, a gunslinger. Rootin', tootin', shooting from the hip, with her revolvers, magnums, whatever the hell you want to call them. Female frame. She's going to be a caster from my understanding, because you have guns. What do you do with guns? You clearly don't stay in people's faces, you use them from a distance. And her design is not going to be like Limbo. Limbo was completely chauvinistic, he was over the top, he was a little... Silverbones went into that, and I agree with him. Like, it was kind of dumb, like, in all honesty. Well, look, a top hat, yes. And this one is not going to have a cowboy hat. She is not going to do that, but what she's going to do is have a standard helmet, something like Excalibur or Mag, and she's going to have a bandana tied around it. So, maybe it's not an actual piece of cloth, maybe it is, who knows, but the idea is that she is to look like a bandito, and it's going to look interesting. The concept art, as you can see, is very supportive of her design, and she seems like she'll fit right in, right next to Hydroid. So, that's a thing. On that side note of fitting right in, one of our old-time Warframes doesn't, because she has been very, very, very neglected on the need and desire for immortal skin. Yes, I'm talking about Trinity. Trinity apparently has an immortal skin already completed. The issue is, we don't know when it's going to come out. This just came from Minky himself, who said, it went a lot of back and forth about her design, didn't feel right, didn't fit the body right, and they finally found a concrete design, and it's already done. So we're going to expect that sometime in the near future, maybe in 0.3, maybe in 0.4, maybe in 0.5 with all the big content, but who knows. Trinity has an immortal skin, and I hope it looks great on her. She needs it, and she needs some attention and love to detail. And attention and love to detail that I've been hammering and some other people have been hammering about is Archwing. Archwing has very few missions scattered throughout the solar system, and it's not that interesting. And people are saying we should do it like the dynamic mission system, like you go in for a exterminate, then suddenly becomes a sabotage, then sabotage suddenly becomes a spy. It's like, missions change, rarely. They used to do that a lot more in the beginning, but rarely. So what's going to happen? Archwing is going to have a traditional system between ground combat and Archwing combat, and Archwing to ground. The transitions are already in the works. It's just a matter of time to see how long will this be implemented, and how well will it be implemented, more importantly. So, no real big details on that, just it's in the works. I figured it was going to happen eventually, but it's in the works, and nothing we can do except twiddle our thumbs. Another thing we've been left in the dark about, twiddling our thumbs about, is stealth. What happened to stealth? There was a big emphasis on stealth, and it slowly just snuck away. Ah! Pun! Bad pun. So, what's gonna happen? They are redesigning a game mode centered around stealth. Just like rescue missions were redesigned and encouraged stealth for higher rewards, they are redesigning the spy missions, the interception missions, or not interception, the intel missions internally. My bad. I. Confusing. So, what are they doing? Instead of just going out and finding these data masses, these 4 data masses, and stealing them and just heading to an extract, what you're going to be doing is sneaking into these database centers on ships, on these transport ships, on these spy ships, that have pretty much high security, like laser traps and everything, and you have to get in there and actually hack the terminals to steal this information, and then get out. And it's going to be very close to the rescue missions with the 3-point system. Not necessarily as in 3 points on words. Hopefully you guys can imagine what it is. Basically there will be an A point, B point, C point, and according to how many of these points you actually get, in the end it will affect your overall reward. So like the rescue about killing all the wardens, not being detected, and actually getting the target out, which is the most important one. You can't fail. So it's nice to see that stealth is actually getting some attention. I'm not sure how this is going to happen with the rootin' tootin', runabout and shootin' type of players, but I'm enjoying it. Stealth, new gameplay, new mechanics, new features, something to do that's not necessarily run around, shoot everyone in the face, gets me excited. You know, it's also exciting that I've been just like, look, for like ever. I think it was in Devstream and Digest 7? Devstream 30 something? I don't know. It is the player hubs. They finally showed us some new details. They finally showed us how it's been completely redesigned. And I am like, oh my god, look at that hanger. Like, words cannot even describe it. That unless I just disappeared. Yes, it did. It's early. So, what is going on with the player hubs? What's the big emphasis behind the player hubs and the player system? Well, the player hubs will serve as a hub world. Yes, like the hubs and hub worlds, blah, 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 words. And you'll connect about 100 to 200 tenno, maybe more, in this one single play space to talk, trade, and group up, and everything like that. That will not be the only feature, as they have also shown off the syndicates will be on these hub stations as well. They've shown off the Steel Meridian, they showed off the Red Veil, they showed off New Loka, Cephalopsuda, Parent Sequence, and the Arbiters of Hexus. And in all honesty, this looks amazing. You actually will get to see these avatars in-game instead of just through a little dialogue box, and it gives this world a sense of reality, a sense of existence, and these people a sense of being, instead of just being a face in a picture frame and all that. So, this is going to be very interesting, because it also will come with a new mechanic with the medallion system. As you do missions for these syndicates, they'll give you medallions, and you can come to these spaces to actually trade them in for rewards. This seems very familiar. Why? Every MMO has it, and most of them do it rather well. Hopefully, DE does it extremely well, and we get some very interesting rewards out of this in the end. So, how do you follow up the 15.5 hype for the player hubs, the hub worlds, up with maybe animations for these spaces? They showed off some emotes that are going to be occurring in-world when this update goes live, and it's not going to be like, oh look, wave to hello, stand over here, or come over here, or whatever. They're going to be very feng shui styled. Pretty much you will be able to execute these commands. There's going to be 10 of them, and it's going to be very Japanese, Asian, and Kung Fu, and martial arts inspired, because we're ninjas and martial arts are our thing. But then again, we're pirates as well. Hi, Droid, I'm looking at you. And magicians. Limbo. Hello. So, these animations look very interesting. They look very clean. I can't wait to see the customization and detail and the clipping that's about to happen through so many Warframes, especially since we saw very crotch-centric Warframes, just throwing it out there, with the new idol exchanging and things. Dog, stop bringing your collar. And what else is there aside from these animations? Well, brand new stances for weapons. Oh look, more animations with it, more animations. Yes, new stances for weapons are coming out, and I am very interested because some of them really needed a second stance. So, what weapon is getting the first stance update is the Conan, the Tonfas. Currently, Gemini Cross is the only stance for it, and you get that from Vancattë, and some people like it, some people don't, so they want some variety, and here comes the variety, and oh my god, it's again over the top. These people love to go over the top with these things. So, no idea what these combos are going to do, what their specials or their chains are going to be, but from the looks of it, it's a second stance, the Tonfas are fun, this is going to make it more fun, I can't wait, I'm excited. You know what I'm also excited about? Something that's not Gleaming Talon. Yes, the glaive is getting a second stance. Hallelujah! Finally, something that may be achievable, because Gleaming Talon is just a bastard. And in all honesty, this seems extremely over the top, it seems completely unrealistic, but who knows when that has a 150 melee speed boost, because that thing's just going to blow right through and it's going to look really, really absurd. And no idea where it's going to drop, no idea what's going to happen with it, but variety is always good. And also a very good stance of variety is the longsword, the longswords, the Graham, pretty much the claymores are going to be getting a new stance, and that's going to be really interesting just to see the claymore do something that's not spin like a top, because spinny, 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 spinny top gets you very dizzy. So let's feel like Berserk and just start swinging this all over the place. It's going to look very, very awesome. And on that side note of awesome, over the top, and absurd, we're getting a gunblade. Yes, it's a gun, that's a blade. It's a blade, that's a gun. It's going to be a melee weapon with with some combos and some mixes in there that you'll shoot the gun itself. I wonder what character is being designed that's going to be a gun and a slinger and would possibly need an extra gun on a blade. Who knows? The gunblade looks very clean, it looks very interesting, it looks, again, absurd like everything else, but a new weapon, and this seems like a weapon that I'm going to enjoy a lot, because a gun and a blade is just hand in hand, and you don't need to carry an extra gun with your blade. So, gunblade. Words. Meh. Moving on. So, what else can we do that's absurd and looks interesting? Well, this wasn't said on the Devstream, but I did get a message and an image from the actual forum post this was posted in, that Red Skiddos, pretty much the third place community contest weapon winner, has his weapon in queue. It's being designed, it's being animated, it's being rigged, it's a little absurd and unique, but it is getting pretty much created at this moment. It's been forgotten, it's been pushed back, because a lot of things have come up in the queue, and it's a very beautiful weapon just in the sheer concept. Seeing a dagger that is very infested in nature and very absurd, with a chain that can pull in enemies and pretty much act like a whip. The way I see it and the way it's described looks that of the Fang Primes mixed with the Lecta, and it's going to be a very unique mix to be put into the game. It's a shame the devs did not go over this because of the compression of time and their world record winning and hitting event, having over, what was it, 19,000 mustaches? I put the number correctly in the game, or in the stream, or in the video. Words. Oh, today's a very bad day. Where's my beef jerky? Anyway, this weapon will be designed, it is in the queue, it is coming up. Will we see it in 15.5? Who's to say? It would be very interesting, and Red Skiddos is very excited to have this coming in. Another person that's very excited to have their concept into the game is the one that designed the Silva and Aegis, the sword and shield, Silverbones himself. They also showed off his creature, which is the one that's going to be implemented, the Juggernaut. The design for the Juggernaut was changed from Silverbone's original design because it was too evil looking for the game. For the infested to be a neutral and a mixed species, they needed to tone him down a little, but he looks very grotesque and very befitting for the game. overall, it is inspired off of Silverbone's design, and its looks are true to the description of Silverbones himself for this creature. This creature is being rigged, it's being animated, it's being already worked on. The working attack pattern has already been done before the actual animations and the actual meshing for the thing. So, again, will this be 15.5? No idea. This thing looks very spooky, and seeing that next to an ancient is going to be very, very interesting. And another person that's very interesting in an infested format is Alad. What happened to Alad V and his mysterious shipments? What happened to Alad V and his infested experiments? Well, we're finding out that he looks like this now. And in honesty, that is weird. That is weird for Alad. What is that weapon? What is he doing with that collar? No, get that collar off that Excalibur, and it becomes a bubble shield as well. What the hell are you doing, Alad? In honesty, this was to be with J3. I'm not sure, that was speculation. But Alad is already being done. He should be up ahead. J3 is already being done. He should be up ahead. When these two were going to come out, I have no idea. Please be 15.5. If it is 15.5, that's going to be a very ambitious update. And I'm just looking forward to all this together, one way or another. So, with all these things being said, all these weapons being presented, all these stances being presented, these new locations, these new changes, and things and stuff, this concludes the Warframe Digest. Thanks for your time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good things down below. And remember, Tenno, have fun, take it easy, and see you guys in game.